Let's continue. I had this request about making some exercises a man used to do, and he had quick results with it, and he didn't want to connect to any deity or something like that, or really do magic. He just wanted to connect to the darkness and the unseen. And I'm also going to talk about catoptramancy, and it's the old way of mirror distortion, and it's not the common face distortion as you scry. But some of the things we did was that you are either outside laying on damp ground in the dark, or you have an open window so the room is cold. And you sit or lay down in a comfortable chair, and you feel the cold, yeah, and you can do this for a while. And then you try to see it as you breathe in the darkness, and it's as black as you can get it. And he visualized it that he was inhaling the black mist to become one with the dark. And then you sink down to the ground or floor. It is just like it swallows you, and everything should start to appear taller around you, since you're lying up and looking at the treetops or the bookshelves in the dark, the shapes, and they should be taller. And then he wanted to go really dark, so we tried that he should listen for whispers in the dark, not noises that you could hear, but trying to train his audio. And look for eyes and shapes in the dark. And this works very well outdoors, since bushes and trees, they move, and there is that certain movement, and you have animals. And so entering into the astral that way is quite easy to learn, and a very quick way. And he wanted to just create a sphere where he had this around him. And he just spread out his own breath, and then he tested the strength of that he could feel something energetically. And he didn't want to do magic, so there was no directions, but to get into the mood, we tried that he spun around, let's say 3-4 times, until he felt dizzy within that, and then he went down to the floor or the chair. And you used your inner energy, and the shield is the sphere, and he just used himself. And I suggested that he would cast a circle with the elements and the chosen deity, but he wanted to have himself, so. But it worked anyway, and he wanted to connect to the energies of the night and the shadows. And so we started practicing scrying. And this was where we came into this catoptramancy. Instead of a regular black mirror, we had this mirror, and you put it in a, let's say, bucket with water and oil, olive oil or some oil. And then it has like this, the oil leaves a slight thing on the mirror there. And you have it halfway in the water, and half of it sticks up, and you have it in an angle like this, that it's resting, so you can gaze into it. And the oil makes a special film on the mirror, if you can say it. And in some old books you can say you are feeding the mirror with the oil and water, and if you add on other things in it. And then you have either moonlight or candles, and they should not reflect in the mirror. So if you have candles, you have them on either side or behind the mirror, or moonlight shouldn't enter into the mirror, or starlight, since you're really looking into the dark with your eyes open. And you do this for about 30 minutes a day, and within 3 months everybody has results and are in this way. and that's when you start to get really precise, and it can work a lot quicker. It did, and so on. And for energy raising, since he wasn't into any energy work or anything like that, we just, that old thing that you tense all your muscles and you hold, and then you release it and tense and hold. And then he wanted to feel something. He was in that state that he wanted to feel. So I asked him to remember when he was really terrified or incidents, and then shift emotions from fear to calm, since you get your heartbeat up with those emotions, and that gives a lot of energy without New Age energy work. And then we had that he lit a candle and looked to it as, let's say, 5 minutes, emptying his mind, just simply looking at the candle flame, and then blow it out so it gets completely dark. And you have the purple, yellow and thing when you blow out the candle. It's on your retina or corona, or how do you say it, printed on. And then you focus on these things you see with your eyes, even if you know that it's in the retina print. And starts crying, and you see these reflecting in the mirror, even if they are within your eyes. And then we had the static electricity. You can comb your hair with a steel comb or wool or cotton or something, polyester, rayon, something that gives this. Since these small electrical shocks, they really get you into tensing up, and all the hairs on your body stands up, so you're very receptive when you get these small shocks every now and then. And the static is very, if you take a comb, it can be a plastic comb or a steel comb, and you comb your hair without conditioner or anything. You just wash it, and you take a water faucet and you place that comb. You can direct water flow, and it goes like an L when you have static electricity, so you can change the water from going down with full force to entering sideways. So that is how powerful static electricity is. And that makes that the sphere is filled with the energy now. And then you can practice night vision, adjust and focus in complete darkness, and listen for the sounds of night. And he liked to think that the unseen was whispering and talking to him. And then we worked on to ask them to communicate, or he did, and he used scrying and divination for that. And the temperature shifts, especially when you are cold, since you are supposed to have the same temperature as the outside, so you're not, so you feel the slightest temperature. He wanted to talk to the deceased, so when his body is cold, he felt like he was closer to them, if that makes sense. And it's easier when you're cold and you're stiffer in your limbs. It's easier to know what they feel like, if you put it that way. And then I had these old ideas that take one shoe off when you are outside, and then you step your foot, and one foot is cold and the other foot is warm. And you can also do it indoors, that you put one foot in water and the other, and it's and in the dark it's a very weird sensation, since your brain don't really know how to deal with this. And that is quite a good exercise, and you're in the astral completely, quite simply. He didn't want to enter the astral, he wanted to peer into the astral, if you put it that way. And then with dreams, with this kind of work, he started to get his dreams in black and white. So instead of having dreams in color, every time he dreamt about what happened to the unseen world. He dreamt in black and white, so that was his cue when things were coming from the spirits, that he dreamt them in black and white, or he could scry them in black and white instead of in color. So these were just some exercises that took him, after 2 weeks he started to be really accurate. And I would of course do it with angels, but or the LBRP or something like that, or the elements at least, water, fire, earth, and have a circle around when you practice, at least for the, so you know how to cast one, and then practice with the sphere. But everybody has free will, but this is really drawing into the dark. And I usually enter if I'm trying to help somebody. I just see myself falling back first and I enter and sink in. So that's the way I can, if I want to go below, let's say to the underworld, I just lay back and sink into it. And it's a weird place. You swallow water and the water might be oil, and you are diving in there in the water and you can breathe under the water, and you swallow the oil and you can swallow dirt, and it's a very weird thing, but you have always entrances out from there. But this kicked him going, and since everybody is talking about these exercises now, that's why I thought I'd tell you how I put them out, and how you can use them is up to you. So have a magical day, and bye for now. And any questions, leave them below so I can answer them. Bye for now.